Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over WorthIt version 4. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about WorthIt version 4. Yes, it is finally released after ages and months of development and working on it continuously, fixing all these little bugs that we've been having. It is finally arrived, WorthIt version 4. So that being said, we're going to break this video guide down into a very basic section for you, which is new features, any redesigns, and then extra content which is provided within WorthIt. That being said, let's just jump over to new features. Okay, so coming into WorthIt, you've just clicked into your minimap button, and what you're going to actually find is you're going to see a UI redesign of some sort. Some things that have gone are still implemented within the add-on, it's just in different places, so just be warned, there are some changes. What we can do right now is we can actually check this new thing, which is now the search bar. We thought this would be a great idea, mainly due to the fact that people use the recorder, which we'll get onto later in the video. Pretty much it fills out quite fast when it comes towards your farms, and therefore you may want to actually run down. So this is how it works. The search bar is you type in whatever material that you're looking for, so Sin, so that will show Rising Glory and Simba Ore, and then we'll type a V, and then it will just show Simba Ore. The more specific, the more things will actually come up. Other things of note that you may want to actually talk about is that are in the actual main dashboard. So the thing that you see right now. So if I type in Reven, like Reve, basically it will show all farms that are currently within Revendreth. This also goes for the materials which are provided alongside WorthIt as well. Other different things of note that you may want to bear in mind with the search bar is it will only go with your location, and it will only go with the item that is shown on the actual in the name column. So when you are going through this and you're setting your My Farms to name it something that's easily searchable, this is probably a good way of going about doing this. The next new feature that you will actually see in this is the now new addition to the actual WorthIt farming logs, and that is for these modules we now have a battle pets column. This is so you can actually farm up different types of battle pets, i.e. raid pets, open world pets, and rare pets. So when it comes towards rare pets, that is regarding a rare spawn or something to that effect. So it will actually tell you where you can actually find it, what's the price of it going for at this moment in time, so it's just easier for you to actually do. That being said, we can actually go into battle pets again, just go to raid pets. It actually tallies up all of the battle pets and values the raid based upon that. So currently for my server, or what I set for the actual prices for the gold value, it values Throne of Thunder to be the most profitable, but obviously this will take a bit of time and adjustments to actually set up properly. But alongside that, we can actually work alongside that. Moving on to the next new feature, we have the farm planner part of the actual add-on. So if you go into the drop-down menu, farm planner is pretty straightforward. It actually logs any farms that you are wanting to do, and it adds it into Executive Assistant. You will need Executive Assistant add-on in order to do this, but we thought that this would be a good way because with Farm Planner built into WorthIt, you can now go into anything in the actual WorthIt logs. It does account for My Farms as well, so we'll just jump over to My Farms. At the moment, I've done a Shadow Dust farm. I've basically deleted all of my farms just to make it a bit more easier to see. And you can click down on the lines button, and you have a thing called To Do, Edit, Duplicate, Export, and Remove. This is with all of the redesign features as well for exporting the farm, which is shown right there. And what you're going to be wanting to do is just press the To Do button. You add this into your farm planner, and now you can see that it's popped up at the bottom in Farm Planner. You export Executive Assistant, and it actually adds it to Executive Assistant into your farms that you are wanting to do. It's like a nice little reminder. We thought that this would be a nice feature for gold farmers to have, so they know what they've done, what they need to do, and then all of that jazz. Also, if you want to remove something, you can just remove things, and it will just ask you when you go to remove it, are you sure that you want to remove this farm from planner? And you go yes or no, and then you can just go export executive assistant, and it will actually remove those farms that you've removed when you press export to executive assistant. It will adjust for whatever you've got in your planner, whether it be added or removed from the farm planner inside of WorthIt. The next thing of note, and my prized thing that I love so much, is if we go into configuration, which is at the bottom of the dashboard's navigation menu, we can then go over to this part, which is we now have custom price strings. Yes, well, with WorthIt version 4, you are now able to set your own price strings. This is based upon the same way you would within TSM, and this is quite a handy way of doing this. Currently, what we've got right now is min DB min buyout, DB market, and also DB region market average. So therefore, this will go with whatever is the minimum price for this based upon those metrics, and then it will actually value all of my farms within WorthIt based upon that. With configuration, this goes for legacy and also custom price sources for current content. This will be specified here, which is current content price source and legacy. So anything that is not Shadowlands related, you can set for that. So your current expansion is the top one where you'll be pricing your price strings, and for anything that is not contributed to at this moment in time Shadowlands, it will be valued with this pricing string right now. That being said, that actually moves on to a new thing that we've actually implemented within WorthIt, and that is custom prices. So currently at this moment in time, I have Expulsum right here, and I can add an item like Blood of Sargeras, which we actually can say, and you can add your own pricing string to that. So if you wanted to, with custom prices, you can give any like soulbound item or any item in the game that doesn't have a value, you can give it a value, whether it be soulbound or actually just non-soulbound. So therefore you can set your own prices for certain items. So if you know that you can get something for a lot cheaper, then you can basically do that and change the farming log to suit that. So therefore, you could set the TSM pricing string within the Blood of Sargeras, and if you go farm Bloods of Sargeras, it will actually value Bloods of Sargeras for you, which is really handy within the actual add-on. All you have to do is grab a soulbound item, so we could just say signed soul shackles. So for that, we can give it that, and then we can then set it to be whatever we want for the pricing string. So we could now give it any custom price source that it wants, and then we can go farm that soulbound item knowing it's got a certain price. So we thought that would be a great way to add that into WorthIt, because it just works a lot nicer in that sense. That being said, that is pretty much it for the new features within WorthIt. We have, and we'll just run down that real quickly, which is we now have the Battle Pets modules, the Farm Planner module, as well as custom price strings, as well as custom pricing of items, and also the module search bar, which is very handy to say the least. That being said, let's go on to redesigns, which is the WorthIt Recorder. So if we go to WorthIt Recorder, which we'll find under Tools, in the navigation menu, you'll find a load of new features with this. So we'll go into the recorder right here. The WorthIt Recorder has had a few redesigns when it comes to all of that stuff. So what has actually changed within the WorthIt Recorder? Well, you can also sort your junk, and it has a tooltip that pops up for you. It says it removes all items set as junk and their values to raw gold. So when you go and record a farm, if you have the scrap add-on and you've set something to junk, it will take value of that, and it will take only the vendor value for that and add that as raw gold into your farming session. Next thing is you can drag and drop items into WorthIt Recorder. So you could grab this, just drop that in, and then you can add that thing right there. Also, with that said, you can set your quantity of how many you've got there, as well as the vendor value, and you can remove it from the actual farm. That being said, if you're just recording, you just press record, which is the play button, of course, and you can just start recording your time for that. you can actually do that quite easily. That being said, you can either use the save icon to save your farm, you can reset the icon by just pressing the page button, and it will actually go to the location of like 𝐂𝐴, and it will automatically name it the location you actually are in as well. Also, you can check and track items looted by anyone from your group or party. So if you're farming as a group, you can actually log things into your WorthIt recorder farm if you're farming in a group, and that will take into account of that as like a 5-man farm or something. Of course, you've already got the stop button and the pause button, they are self-explanatory. You can also go over to the little pencil icon and you can change your current location. You can pretty much change most things within the WorthIt recorder, and you can have a button for resetting all instances. All you have to do is press that. Now you're probably thinking this is a bit big for the WorthIt recorder. Well, not to worry, we can just go to standard mode, which now you can have that set on your screen right now, and it will just log everything for you. That being said, we also have a compact mode, which is very tiny if for those minimalist players, but other than that, this is your edit mode, your standard mode, and your compact mode. So hope you enjoy the WorthIt recorder. That being said, let's actually jump onto our navigation menu. What has actually occurred? So we've had a redesign of the navigation menu for WorthIt. We've got our farms, and multi-farms are in there still. We've also got our battle pets, we've got flipping modules with the ink trader and that. Transmog modules, so this is only based for vanilla transmog places. Next we have our my farms, obviously. We have farm planner, which is cordoned off with 2 little bars as well. That gives it a nice sleeker feel, which I kind of like really quite a lot. You have your guides, which is at the moment is battle pets and transmog. I'm actually looking for other different types of gold makers that are around to actually write guides for within WorthIt. Obviously they have to be fleshed out in order for that, but just DM me if you are willing to do something along that lines. The next thing of note is going into tools. We have the recorder, of course, we went into that earlier, and the next thing is import farm. This is if you are exporting or importing a farm. So say you exported a farm from your friends and they gave you the export, you can now go to tools and go to import farm. You just paste it into here and press accept, and it will put it into your my farms for you. The next thing of note is the bag value button, which now actually values your button based upon a few different price sources, which is your default price source, so the one that you're currently using to value everything within WorthIt. You've got your difference. It will actually measure the difference between different types of things. So if I've measured it off of the default price and the difference between those, and it will find out for you. At the moment I'm 0 because I've only got soulbound items in my bag, and you can base it upon the basic metrics of DB market and all that stuff. The next thing of note is actually a new feature, but I've added it into redesigns as well, but that is the bank value. This is your specific bank, not your guild bank, and it will actually value your bank that you have on value as well by all of those pricing sources I listed for your bag value button. That being said, the last thing for that is configuration, which you've got your recorder set up, your bag value set up, so you can set epic, rare, legendary, custom prices, and also your modules, whether or not you want to change things. So you can only show things on your dashboard, and I can now, because I've selected all of these different things within here, I can actually bring that over towards my dashboard, and now it will just show me everything that I want to keep track of. So theoretically you could click everything in there and just have everything on your main dashboard, and it will just show what the best farm is overall within WorthIt. And that is just to keep track of things that you want to keep track of. I personally just like the Shadowlands ones directly at the front. That being said, after redesigns, we now have extra content. For extra content, we are going to be going into our dashboard at this moment in time. We're going to be going over towards help, which is the new feature within there. And we can then go over to optional add-ons. It will tell you which optional add-ons you can use for WorthIt and what it can do for you. So therefore, Executive Assistant, for example, an add-on to create task lists. WorthIt lets you create a list of farms to use, farm planner, which we have inside of WorthIt, which we covered earlier, and that can be exported to the add-on as a task list to make your life easier. So it will tell you what add-on you can download to put with WorthIt to make it a bit more effective. That being said, if we go back over to help, we can go into the recorder, which we have a full-fledged guide on how to use the WorthIt recorder. It will tell you everything you need to know about the WorthIt recorder. That being said, on the last part of help is for extra content is tips and tricks, which will have some things that you can do to set your configuration up, and also things that you can do within WorthIt to make your life a hell of a lot easier. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoy WorthIt version 4. Alongside that, I am very proud to actually say that WorthIt version 4 is actually released and ready to be updated within the CurseForge. And a huge thanks towards the WorthIt development team, which is basically me and Callum, because we worked pretty dang hard on updating this and making it as good as it can be for the regular gold farmer. That being said, guys, please feel free to enjoy my new outro, which is what Miss Bunny Bell has done, and I absolutely love it. Have a lovely rest of the day, guys, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.
Yeah.